Like in high school, you're more cushioned, you're more surrounded by things that you can relate to, as opposed to when you get to college, everything's kind of new to you, you're more independent. And like things like that actually affect people more than you think, because like when you have to worry about what to wear to school every day because of a dress code and the way society's gonna judge you because of what you do here, what you're doing here and there, it actually affects the way you learn and how you produce your work in school and stuff like that. So I think when you go to college, it'll be a little easier than high school.
I don't know. I have this feeling like even in college, I mean, obviously if you go past undergrad and it's all gonna be work pretty much.
I know it's in something in the schools, but that's all I know.
Something George Bush did and it didn't work, or did it? I don't know. If a student fails, they can't fail another time.
I just know it's like something that helps kids that don't want to get left behind, something about tests or something.
I think No Child Left Behind is like when you don't pass the grade, they go ahead and move you on.
Part of it is they put in place the standardized testing. Part of it is not letting kids, like special needs kids, get put into regular classes and stuff like that. It's a lot of stuff.
You should put those kids in regular classes. And like if you fail a grade, like you can't fail it twice. Yeah. You have to go forward no matter what, something like that.
I can see where that is coming from, the No Child Left Behind, because they don't want students to feel different, I guess, letting them be in regular classes and stuff like that. But what's that gonna do for them? That's just gonna make them seem, inside they're gonna feel worse than ever because they can't keep up with everybody else.
I have no idea what No Child Left Behind is.
No Child Left Behind is where they take all the students who aren't as advanced as other students and they put them into honors classes with all the students who do want to do something with their lives. They take all the students who don't care about education. They try and give them equal opportunities as everybody else.
That's like to make sure that you graduate, so like once you go into school, you stay in school, like all the years you need to stay into. Like for high school, you start freshman year and they make sure that you try and graduate. So that kind of hinders, because most people that are like present in our senior class, like some of them can't read above the 3rd grade level. That hinders them because they're being pushed to complete a degree to where they graduate from high school and it's just like they might not be able to survive in the real world.
No Child Left Behind requires all public schools to administer standardized tests annually to all students.
The amount of Title I funding given depends on the test scores of the school.
Schools which receive Title I funding must make yearly progress on test scores. If a Title I school fails to make adequate yearly progress, then it is placed on a list of failing schools in the local newspaper.
Then parents are given the option to transfer students to another school. If it does not meet adequate yearly progress for a second year, then it must provide special tutoring for its economically disadvantaged students.
Like in some classes, they try, like for instance last semester in my chemistry class, we didn't get to the point that we were supposed to get to, and like at the end of the semester she was trying to like smash everything together so that we could pass our exam. But during the semester she used all her time to make sure that we actually learned what we were supposed to learn.
I know that it helps the kids out, the ones that kind of struggling in school and stuff. Help them get a better chance of graduating and passing.
I think it's bad because all people should work. If they don't work, they should fail.
I think it's good. What I know about it, I think it's really good, helping people like improve and trying to get more people to graduate.
Yeah. I think it's good because every child should not be left behind.
I disagree with it. I think you should pass the grade before you get moved on to the next. That's just my opinion.
Of course, no one wants any child to be left behind, because the name of No Child Left Behind is conjuring up an idea that teachers don't care and we're just going to leave some kids behind. That's not the case. I feel like No Child Left Behind is a one-stop shopping, kind of like a one-size-fits-all, when people aren't really like that.
I think it has helped. I think it has helped. I think it was well intended, but I think it needs to be modified.
I feel like it's trying to bring everybody to an equal level of going into college, whereas college might not be for everybody.
The problem with it is we have 50 different states and we have 50 different sets of standards.
Some parts of it are good, some parts of it are bad. I think there's a lot of unintended consequences. I think the idea that 100% of kids, that you can get like 100% graduation rate or you can get 100% attendance all the time, I think is very unrealistic. And I think that a lot of schools are pushing so hard to meet some of those standards or some of those benchmarks that they're not getting a chance to concentrate on academics like they should.
Some of the requirements of No Child Left Behind, particularly when it applies to high school, I think is probably a stretch, somewhat unrealistic.
I think that it did make us look a lot more about someone being accountable for when kids don't learn, that somebody is going to be held accountable. But I don't like the idea that if a principal doesn't bring you up to standard like in a year or two, that they replace the principal and then you start all over again.
I think there's a very heavy focus on paper and pencil tests, one-day snapshot of what takes place in a school. So I think we need to take a look at that.
72.6% of the students graduated in Hamilton County in 2007. That's 82.2% in the state of Tennessee and 60% in the nation.
I just be real with my students, talk to my students, have conversations with them, parents, other stakeholders in the building, and work with them, realizing that every student is different, so not every student's situation is the same as the last student's.
I feel like it puts teachers in a hard position to take every single person and try to bring them up to the highest level. In theory, that's good, but I feel like it has to be done with respect for the individual.